Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Talking Drivers. Very rare on this channel, but this driver has been recommended to me by James Robinson. It is the new Paradigm Callaway driver. This is a triple diamond version, as I will show you right there. So in comparison to last year's or the previous generation, the Maverick triple diamond, this has now got changeable weights in there. They are adjustable, so if you do want to get lower spin but you still struggle with this driver, we can change those weights around. We can get you a little bit more spin if you like the design of this head and of this shape. Again, designed to be low spinning. This is why James recommended it. First of all, obviously looks wise, so it does have the new blue 360 carbon chassis, so a lot more carbon in this here. What they're trying to do is push this driver to the limits. Obviously try and get you more ball speed, try and make it as light as possible, try and get it coming off as hot and as far as we can get that. As you can see guys, on the top it has the tri-axle carbon crown, on the bottom it has the forged carbon bottom. Tell you what, that took some practice, that did, to be honest, for me. But guys, let's get more to the point here. We want to test it again. This is a driver I will be testing with the mid-handicapper. Not always the case that they might need a triple diamond, but I want to get a driver this season that I can hit better. The mini driver at the moment is working, but James reckons this could be the one. Straight away, I don't think he could be far wrong on this occasion. So a great ball flight there, felt very solid, a little draw down there. James is smiling behind the camera.
You didn't believe me, did you? I said I liked it.
No, again, this is me. I've been struggling to find a driver. James said this would be potentially the driver for me. And again, we're going to explain over the coming weeks, well, in the next week or so with mid-handicap Dave, why it might also work for you. So again, let's come in here. I'm going to then hit two with my mini driver. I'm going to see dispersion and also length. James is laughing behind the camera because two of the best drives, and that has gone a very long way. So again, very easy to hit. Longer than my driver shaft. As we know, I've got the mini driver. I've got the smaller head. Again, the head size is that a little bit smaller. The shape is very nice, suiting of my eye. And over the golf ball, I actually felt like I could hit this driver, which has been first time in a long time. But let's get the mini driver and compare. So back to the old trusty, so the mini driver here, we are going to go.
Tell them how many balls you lost at dancing with it.
With the mini driver, I did lose 3 golf balls in 16 holes, so far non-loss with the triple diamond Paradigm Callaway driver. So similar to the first drive, so that should be pretty close. I don't think it's gone as far, which I'd probably see, and we're going to get in on the numbers. We're going to get into the simulator, guys. Not the simulator, we're going to get to Royal Waterfront, and we're going to hit some on TrackMan, compare the numbers, but also compare dispersion, which is what we're going to do in a second out here. So again, both shots there. The first one was exactly the same as the first Paradigm. That's the same as the second one. So it's going to be very interesting to get down there. Strike-wise, pretty good. Get down there and see what they've gone. It's good to test it out on the golf course, guys, on a tough hole here like at Woolley Park. Second hole, you have to move the ball a little bit, or you have to flirt with the trees. So it's good to get it where we're not just on a driving range, where we can give it a good old whack. So guys, we're down here. The first ball I've come to is the mini driver. We have my missstruck, or not the best struck, Paradigm right up there. We have the very well struck mini driver there, and the furthest one by a good 20 yards is right up there with the Paradigm drivers. So exactly what we'd expect. You can see that not the best hit with a Callaway Paradigm straight off the bat is already better than the best mini driver I could potentially hit. So big differences there, guys. It'll be very interesting now to go and look at the numbers we've got, because that one is a long way down there. Would put me in a great position, although I would have to go over that tree here at Woolley. So let's go and have a look at the numbers, and then I'm going to hit some more on the 5th hole here at Woolley Park. So guys, as the drives are on screen now, you can see those numbers are on there. So the averages we're looking at with the mini driver, we've got 263 yards carry, 278 total, 108 miles an hour club head speed, and an average spin of 4,000. So ball speed on average 158 with the mini driver. When we come into the Paradigm, set it its normal setting, so a little bit more spinny. We're going to change the weight shortly, but we're getting 272 carry on average. There's a couple of bad ones in there which I have left in there. 301 total, and we're looking at 2.7 spin, which is very good for me. Normally it's hard to find a driver that spins in the 2,000 range. It's normally way over. You can see even the last drive there, I thought I hit pretty well, but it spun at nearly 5,000. But 163 mile an hour ball speed, so coming off, getting us more distance, so 10 yards more carry, but then we're also looking at around about 20 yards more total. So that's including some bad ones in there, guys, so that's where obviously the averages come out. The carry is probably going to be a little bit higher than that with the Paradigm over the course of a season. But let's switch those weights up now. So guys, this driver does have a forged titanium face. It still has the jailbreak technology, but we now have the AI version, which is more of a wishbone structure instead of the two pillars in the face, which still makes it structurally sound. So nice and strong, gets that ball speed, but still has the feel in there. But what we're going to do on this, guys, we've just seen the numbers. I will also be putting the numbers on for where we change the weights. So we mentioned we can change the weights on here. It is set to get you a little bit more spin. So we have a 14-degree weight in the back of the driver, and we have a 2 gram weight in the front. So that's again just to generate that little bit more spin, because we know this is a low spinning driver, but sometimes it was a little bit too low in the spin.
That makes it better.
James thinks that makes it better. So we're going to do one shot as it is now, so a little bit more spin. We're going to then change those weights around. We're going to hit 2 shots here on, again, another tough driving hole here at Woolley.
You should be able to get there.
And effectively, we should be able to get there. Let's see. Again, a nice little draw. Felt very solid, a little bit at bottom off the face there, so didn't get the spin probably we wanted, but that was more the pilot than the club. Again, felt very solid, still gone a good distance. Again, strike-wise, it was relatively centred, just rather low. So let's change the weights around now, guys, and then we'll see what kind of flight this brings us. Guys, this is not something that I would recommend to change. This is just for the sake of this video. Again, when you get fitted, we should be able to get these into the right place, so they should be exactly where you want them to be. We don't want to start messing around. We know that is a tendency with drivers. We don't want to start changing all the weights, because then we always end up blaming that when it could be pilot error. And you'll notice the standard Paradigm driver does have a track weight system at the back, so you can have it fade or draw bias. So again, something new in there for you to be able to change, and we're locked in. So let's give this one a go now, guys. So let's see, what does it come out of this guy a little bit more. I've been known to have too much spin, so this could work good for me. Mr. James Robinson does prefer it the other way, because it still does give him that a little bit more spin, because he is known to have not enough. I do laugh because that came off very fast. Again, launched nice and high, and that has gone a long way. It looks like it is pretty much pin high. So even though that's designed to go lower spinning, I launched it a little bit higher. I presented the golf club a little bit better, and that came off very fast. So again, interesting to see those numbers, which are coming up now. So guys, you'll see on screen now, you'll see the differences in between changing those weights around. Again, we wouldn't advertise, or we wouldn't suggest this. When you get fitted, please do leave it how it is even. But we can see carries a little bit down, so 5 yards down, 267, 268 yards, 297 total. Club head speed very similar, 1 mile an hour in it. Spin was definitely down by 300 revs, but are we going to see much difference in that spin? Probably not. 2.7 is not a bad number. It's giving me that little bit more carry, a little bit more consistency. And again, dispersion was very similar with the low spin driver. So guys, that has been the new Callaway Triple Diamond Paradigm driver. So again, it's the first driver out. There's a couple more drivers coming out, as you will be more than aware of. So a great start to the year. Numbers pretty good there. We wouldn't recommend changing those weights around on the bottom. I think it was better on the first setting, so where we're getting a little bit more spin. It's a little bit more playable even than the previous Triple Diamond driver. So a great driver, obviously, to start the year. Ball speed was up, distance was up, so you can see everything they've done to that carbon crown, to the 360 carbon finish. It's been able to get us a little bit more ball speed. I've hit that pretty well. Dispersion was better than the mini driver, so the mini driver might be retired for a while. So again, we've got more drivers coming up testing. We're going to be testing all these drivers with a mid handicap, so Dave will be on testing these. I don't think this one will be for him, but in fact he doesn't get much spin at all and not much launch, so Triple Diamond might not be for him. whereas the other Paradigm drivers might be perfect for his game. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Comment below if you've enjoyed this review, if you want to see more of these, and we'll see you again later in the week.